You might have seen on Twitter and from the YouTube community posts, but I just got back from Montreal, joining all these incredible YouTubers, and it was nice to see. It was nice to meet others that are in the same niche doing the same thing. But what I want to talk about is Montreal itself. Flying there was so fast. That was the fastest airplane flight I've ever ridden. We took off, and after a while the pilot was saying how the seatbelt lights turned off, blah, blah, blah. But then we're gonna be descending within half an hour. And so we just go up, cruise for half an hour, and start descent into Montreal. You barely had time to acclimate yourself to the airplane and you're already getting off. I think that is awesome. There is a train going from New York straight to Montreal, and it should be fast because New York to Montreal is the same distance from New York to Boston. New York to Boston is a 3.5 to 4 hour train ride, but the New York to Montreal, it's a 13-hour train ride. And I do want to make a video on this, on that difference. But in a nutshell, it's because you go through winding mountains and tracks that are not maintained, so you're going at 20 to 30 miles an hour. I don't see a future really where the train is gonna get any faster going to Montreal. Montreal is such a beautiful city. It's a bike city. The bike infrastructure is so good. They're actually the pioneer of the bike sharing program. Theirs is called the Bixi. I rode a Bixi almost every day. Actually, every day I rode a Bixi bike every day. And these are lighter and better to maneuver than the city bike in New York. City bike here is heavy. It's meant for people to just throw it on the park or throw it in the river. So I get to Montreal. The next day, I did this free walking tour of Old Montreal, which I like to do whenever I get to a city, do some sort of walking tour. And usually there's a free walking tour available. And these walking tours are great because you get a base understanding of the city, and then you get some suggestions of where to eat or what to do. They're a little touristy, but you just get some baseline of what's going on, what's the city about, and what can I do as a tourist and non-tourist. And I guess in Montreal, the three big things to eat are bagels, which the bagels are different there. They're a little sweeter compared to New York. New York adds salt to their bagel. Montreal, they add honey to the water. And so the bagels, smoked meat, and poutine. I am so poutine out. I had so much poutine when I was there. And also, it's so French. Montreal is different from Canada. Just everybody spoke French. All the signs have to be in French. If there is a sign that's purely in English, that's illegal. So from what I understand, everything has to be in French. And so I was doing Pimsleur French up to my trip to Montreal, but by the time I was there, I was so Frenched out that when I got on the plane to go back, I was doing Korean on Duolingo. So now I'm learning Korean, and that's the new language I'm picking up. Korean is hard, I don't know, or maybe I'm just tired. But yeah, Montreal is a beautiful city. I recommend going there in the summer or spring. People have told me, even the locals, don't go there in the winter time because it's bitter, bitter cold. So Montreal on the bucket list if you've never been before.